Welcome to the show. You have found Mason Street Retirement Insights, where every week we turn to our resident financial advisor, Sean Mason. He is the founder of Mason Street Wealth Management right here in Fresno. And he's been helping clients retire with confidence for years. He'd love to do the same for you. So he is here today to break down some of the biggest retirement topics for us. All right, Sean, shall we do it? Shall we get into some retirement talk?
Yeah, we've got some really good stuff to talk about. I'm excited this week.
I am too, and I want to start today with one of those rule book situations that trips people up because on the surface, sounds like it should be simple. When you leave a job, most people hear, just roll the 401k into an IRA, easy peasy. But here's the curveball. When it comes to Roth money, the rules are not as flexible as people assume, because what you can't do right now is move personal Roth IRA money back into a workplace plan. But Congress is considering a change that would allow Roth IRAs to roll into workplace Roth plans. So a little complicated, Sean, but I'm curious, why would anybody want to do this? And what are the pros and cons of a move like this? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm always come from the position that an IRA usually is most beneficial. I love this regulation that's being suggested, though, because I just like the freedom. I think it's really important that we get to do as we feel that we should, and no regulation should limit us on moving forward. I don't know. I guess maybe there's some benefit to it. Unless an employer plan has some unique features, you're really always going to be better off, or usually better off, in an IRA. But some benefits might be in the employer plan, the fact that you can take a loan from the employer plan, which you cannot do from an IRA. It's certainly not fees or not the benefit, because having an IRA at a custodian, you're going to have very low fees anyway if we're not talking about management. One of the things, though, you got to make sure that you understand is you can, at age 55, if you retire and truly retire from your job or career, unlike the rest of us that have to wait till 59 and a half, or I should say, unlike if you're in an IRA where you have to wait till age 59 and a half to take withdrawals penalty free, you can actually start taking withdrawals from an employer plan at age 55. And so that's really important to know in planning. Okay. But the two major benefits of the employer plan, the 401k, the 403b, is going to be the increased contributions. An IRA, you can contribute $8,500. A 401k, you can contribute $32,000. So quite a difference there. And then also the match. We've always got to catch the match no matter what. Those are the benefits of the employer plan. But, I'll tell you, the balance is not what gives you those benefits. Moving the balance of a Roth IRA back into the 401k, I just don't see a lot of benefit to it. The negatives of the employer plan are a lack of investment and management options, right? Because in the employer plan, you get whatever they allow you to do. With an IRA, you've got the whole world of investment and management plans, management options available to you. So when you separate from the job, or in most plans, you turn 59 and a half, you're able to move those dollars out of the employer plan into an IRA. If they pass this law, maybe you'll be able to move the Roth money back into the plan. I was talking with John and Bonnie, a couple months ago, and this came up. John is 55 years old, Bonnie's 60 years old, and they want to retire in 2 years. Actually, Bonnie's retired. John wants to retire in 2 years. Okay. But Bonnie is going to be 57 years old when John retires, and they're going to need distributions from Bonnie's 401k. Mm-hmm. And so in planning, we left enough money in that 401k so that they could access those dollars until Bonnie makes it to age 59 and a half, which is when they will change over to taking distributions from the IRA. What's really important for people is that every situation is just so different, and there's never a one-size-fits-all plan. So, if you're having trouble putting all this together, or you want to make sure you're thinking about it correctly, or maybe you have some questions, I want to invite you to come into the office. We can take some time to talk through your situation, help you get some insight into how and what you're doing now is affecting you now and then into the future. And we may have some recommendations that you can use to put yourself in a better position. And if you're one of our first 5 callers, we're going to provide you with your very own individual retirement planning assessment. We're going to take a deep dive into all those elements that you have to be considering in retirement. So give us a call at 559-847-0039. Our team is standing by right now.
Okay, so Sean, who's the person that you picture benefiting the most from this? Are we talking about somebody who's early career, somebody who's maybe mid-career, or somebody who is nearing retirement and maybe trying to simplify, kind of like John and Bonnie, who you were just talking about? Or maybe could everybody benefit from this in some sort of way?
You know, I'll say again, I mean, unless you are really thinking that you're going to need to take loans from that employer plan, 401k, or if you feel like you're going to be retiring earlier than 59 and a half, are going to need access, those are really how you want to start thinking about leaving balances in those employer plans. There's just not a whole lot of benefit to it.
That is going to do it for us this week here on Mason Street Retirement Insights. As always, thank you so much for joining us, and we will be back next week, same time, same place, with more great insight from Sean Mason, president of Mason Street Wealth Management. Take care.
Mason Street Wealth Management, MSWM, is a registered investment advisor, and the opinions expressed by MSWM on this show are their own and do not reflect the opinions of Motivate Investments. Registration is not an endorsement by securities regulators. Investment advisory services are offered through Motivate Investments, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. All statements and opinions expressed are based upon information considered reliable, although it should not be relied upon as such. Any statements or opinions are subject to change without notice. The information presented is for educational purposes only and does not intend to make an offer or solicitation for the sale or purchase of any specific securities, investments, or investment strategies. Investments involve risk and, unless otherwise stated, are not guaranteed. Information expressed does not take into account your specific situation or objectives and is not intended as recommendations appropriate for any individual. Listeners are encouraged to seek advice from a qualified tax, legal, or investment advisor to determine whether any information presented may be suitable for their specific situation. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities. Offered through Sean A. Mason, California, insurance license number 0B54860. The firms are separate entities. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company and are not offered by Motivate Investments. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. MSWM is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if MSWM is licensed in your state, please call 559-892-0002.